ABC Morning Show, everyone. We are creeping up in the final hour of our program, which is leading us to our second discussion of the day. And if you have tried this particular activity before, then you may know that to many, surfing is a sport that brings joy and challenges that are perfect for thrill seekers that are seeking that adrenaline rush.
Yes, there is something incredible about the ability to harness the raw power of the ocean and the waves, and also the peace and tranquility offered for those unforgettable moments leading up to the finding the right wave. Maybe it is also time to kick rocks to the stereotype of how women should be tanning on the beach and watching the men surf, because it's never too late for a woman to take up surfing.
That's right. Marissa, have you ever tried surfing?
No.
Okay.
Actually, I'm not very adventurous, Paul. Yeah. I'm very like low risk person.
I actually have tried, but
Yeah.
peace and tranquility weren't the first two words that popped in my mind. It was how to stay up on my feet. But anyways, to find out more about surfing today, we have surfer Gemalla Carrissa joining us in the studio. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Great to have you. So listen, the first time I tried surfing, and that even on the entire first day, I remember I started a bit of a late morning, all the way into the afternoon, took a break for lunch. Not once did I touch the water. The person that taught me said, you learn on the beach, because that's the first step. You have to learn how to get up on your board on the beach, and I spent all day doing that.
Really?
And I went home, I'm like, I didn't even try any actual surfing,
wow.
but in fact, it was just preparation for me to get used to it, and eventually I got into the water. But let me start by asking you, is this a beginner-friendly sport? Because it seems like such a big step for you to be able to start even just getting on your feet on the board.
Yeah, because the problem is we're not used to use our muscle when we use for surfing in daily routines. So that's the problem. But if you live near the ocean or you're very young, it's not that hard. But for me, it's very hard too.
Right. Because there's nothing
started?
that you do that emulates that movement, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
not on land.
Right.
When did you start surfing?
I started when I was 20 years old. It's like 22.
22 years ago.
Yes.
Yes, because I remember maybe about 11 years ago, I met you for the first time, I interviewed you for the first time, and at that time, I really felt the spirit and your passion for surfing. And you are still doing it until now. You will still do it forever. So
I hope so.
You hope so. I think I can see that. You
Thank you.
Yes. So what is it about surfing that keeps you coming back for more?
Yeah, it's like Paul said, because it's so hard. At least for me, it's hard because we are city boys and girls who live far from the ocean, right? So it's not our everyday movement. It's hard for me to get used to it, at least to get a right wave and riding right wave.
Yes.
So I love it so much when I finally had that feel like, I did it.
Some people compare it like golf. If you've ever tried golf for the first time, you're going to miss the ball like 9 out of 10 times you swing. And in the one that you hit probably goes off to the right. But they say once you hit one the right way, just like if you catch the wave the right way after tens of times of trying, that's when you realize, oh, I can be addicted to this. This is what I'm looking for. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so, because I never play golf, but maybe.
Well, let me ask you this then. Obviously, this is something that is a hobby that many find challenging and brings out your adrenaline. But we mentioned peace and tranquility. How do you find peace and tranquility in a sport that is quite difficult to master in its own?
Yeah. Okay. I can surf properly after 4 months trying.
Okay.
So the first 4 months is just tired feelings, and I cannot open my shirt by myself because it's so
Because your body is all
hurt.
sore. Yeah.
Oh, really? From the
sore.
paddling?
The muscle is so sore.
Right.
And then after that, when I get the feeling, and every time I go surf, especially in the morning when the sun rises and I can feel the breeze touch my skin, it's so easy to feel blessed. Can you see that?
Yeah.
No, I can imagine.
Yeah.
But not in a very big wave, yeah?
Yeah.
And they're like a small or medium. It's a very fun wave, a cute wave for me.
Wait.
I can feel it.
Okay. It's like, I guess if you're out there, you're away from any of the traffic, the noise, your problems. You're leaving all that behind and you're focusing on the task at hand.
Yeah, all your senses forced to feel it.
I see.
There's no other option.
You are forced to feel there's no other option. I guess these books are the results of you trying to express that feeling. Tell us about these books that you wrote, Gemalla. The Ocean Melody and also The Endless Surprise. What is The Ocean Melody?
Okay, the Ocean Melody is my first book. I write it, it's come from my blog actually. I write because in Indonesia, for the first era, the surfing here is only in Bali. So when I say, oh yeah, I surf, where, Ancol? No, right?
Yeah, right.
I don't think that, no.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, so all they know is just Bali. But back then when I worked for TV and I have a chance to travel a lot, and I can go to like Mentawai, Sumbawa, and other spots for surfing, I can see how Indonesia is very beautiful for surf. Many surfers come to Indonesia, they travel like 11 hours just to get the waves, to get the warm water, for the friendly locals here.
Yes.
So from blog, I try to write a book.
Yeah.
It's not easy, many errors there,
Yeah.
but I try. Yeah.
And one of the stories is actually about a surfing experience that you had, and one of the best was actually not in the sea. It's actually in a river. Is that correct?
Yeah, because it's unique.
Can you imagine surfing in a river?
Are there waves in a river?
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what was that experience like?
It's a very big river.
Right.
So
where is this?
It's in Sumatra, in Riau.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Normally you surf in the ocean, maybe you can stand up for 15 seconds, 30 seconds most. But here in the river, you can stand up for 2 hours.
What?
2 hours.
So this
Is this
is
what
it.
we're looking at here? Is this...
Yeah. It's the river name is Kampar. Kampar River is very big.
Okay.
And the waves come when it's when the high tide comes from the ocean.
Oh, I see.
To the
And because
river.
this doesn't end on the beach, you can just, technically, you can just keep going on and on and on.
Yeah.
That's so weird. I've never even
know,
seen
right?
this before. I didn't know you could do
Because-
that.
Only in Indonesia.
No, there's some river like this in the world, like
Is it in America?
Brazil,
Brazil,
no,
yeah.
China.
China. even.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, and I assume this is relatively safe because the waves can't get that big. It's just, I assume they just go on for a longer distance, but...
Yeah, but sometimes it get big. There's a month that it can be very big, like 4 meters,
Really?
but fat wave.
Okay,
It's
what is
not-
that?
The waves break slowly,
Oh, okay.
so it's not like hollow waves
Yes,
like in the
like the ones that
in
you
the
see in those
ocean.
for
Yeah,
surfing
yeah.
pics. Okay, it's very interesting. Obviously, you've seen many places throughout your time surfing. What are some of your favorites or most memorable?
Well, this
I guess
is
obviously,
definitely
yeah,
one.
Yeah, this one favorite, but I not come there maybe like twice.
Okay.
Twice. My favorite one is in Cimaja. Cimaja is in Pelabuhan Ratu.
Oh, okay.
Maybe like 4 hours drive in Jakarta. Because it's the closest and consistent way for Jakarta surfer.
Okay.
And the other one is in Rote.
Rote.
Ah, it's the one that is mentioned in your second book, actually, Endless Surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Rote that is so special? Terjebak di Rote. It means trapped in
Trapped.
Rote. Pa-pa-pa.
because back then there's only a boat, small boat from Rote to Kupang. And when the storm comes, we cannot go anywhere. So we just trapped there.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you like about
Rote is a very beautiful place. The waves is quite friendly.
How do you mean by friendly? Sort of like huge, small, and cute.
No. Yeah, can be. Or when it's big, I just stay at the beach.
Oh, okay. So you are a bit weary, like you know. You
I
don't
still,
wanna...
yeah.
Yes, that's actually good.
It's a very long left-hander,
Right.
very clean water. You can see the reef when you sit on top of your board. You can see the reefs. There's no club.
There's
There's
no
no
club, yeah.
mall. There's no.
So noise-wise, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So we talked about how earlier we touched on how, you know, we made a little bit of a joke about women watching men surf on the beach. In recent years, we've seen many women compete as well on the world stage in regards to surfing championships, no lesser than the men that are out there in the respective fields. Can you tell me a little bit about how the role of women or women in surfing has changed over the years and where it's at now?
Oh yeah, it changed a lot now, especially in Indonesia when I was start serving back in 2020. I mean, 2000.
Yes,
Yeah,
2000.
2000.
Oh my
20,
God.
22 years ago. Uh-huh.
Yeah, there is no girl serve, especially in Jakarta. And also in Bali, I know every woman who serve in Bali. I know each of them. I can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all my friends.
Right.
But now so many. There are small kids there. They start serving at 6 years old.
6.
So
Six.
cute. Allie, hi.
I got a daughter that might be interested. Right.
And then they go compete in an early age.
Wow.
That's really cool, isn't it? And
Why do you
also-
think it's picked up? Like, why do you think it's picked up so much steam? So much interest?
I don't know. Maybe because, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe because they see that their parents serve.
Yeah.
Because the parents are my age, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
The
yes, yes.
generational change.
It is there is a
they
general.
see example, and then the surf industry support them.
Yes.
And also Indonesia already have Indonesia Surfing Association. So it's a promising.
It is a promising sports for women to enter.
Yeah.
So, and I think because you asked why, right? The enthusiasm is increasing in women surfing nowadays. Well, maybe because it's for physical fitness as well, because you have not changed much. You look as fit as I interviewed you 11 years ago in a different TV station. So what are the physical benefits other than looking great?
Physical benefits, you become strong, you become fit, you use certain muscle that you never use.
Which part of muscles usually?
Actually, upper body muscles and your back,
Back
because
muscle.
you have to like bend all the time when you pedal, right?
Right.
Yes.
The hardest part
Yeah.
for me, and also this.
The arms.
Assuming with the paddling, it's mostly your back and your shoulders. Like you're
That's
doing a lot of
true,
the upper
actually.
body work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also your core. I assume your
core.
core has to be for balancing.
Yeah, also your lung, because yeah, it's like a cardio.
That's
Because paddling is like 95% of the surfing itself.
Right.
I see.
First time I got rolled on my surfboard,
Yeah.
I felt like I was down there for 30 seconds. And then I asked my friend who was watching, I was like, yeah, how long was I under there? He's like, yeah, like 3 seconds. It feels like I couldn't breathe for like 30 seconds. I'm like, wow, I was under for half a
Because you're
minute.
panic,
I wasn't.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got rolled, but it wasn't easy to do so because I was using this incredibly huge surfboard.
the
and
longboard.
I think I was the only one using that on the beach. But yours look vastly different. Can you explain a little bit about your boards and the ones that you use?
Is this the top? Is this where you put your body, or is
Yes.
this the bottom?
This one is a short board.
Okay.
So we
Short
have.
board.
Yeah, the one I used was like twice that length.
Yeah, that's a long board. This is a short board, and that one is also short board but different character.
Okay.
If you can see the bottom
Yeah.
is this one is fish.
Oh, right.
Board, so
Okay, it
it's more
splits at
like-
the bottom. I've never seen
Yeah, it's a fund, and if you can touch this or hold it, you can feel it's a more meat on this.
Yeah.
It's a thicker.
It's thicker.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's better for maneuverability, I assume. where you
no,
put your feet.
thicker is easier to float.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Easier to balance.
Okay.
This one is thinner. It's good for performance.
Okay.
Easier to cut back. Or,
Right. And it's the one that's the more difficult, I assum, to use. The smaller the board,
Yeah.
the more
smaller.
agile it is, but the
Yeah.
harder it is to maneuver.
How
Yeah,
heavy is it? This board. How heavy is per board? This short board.
I don't know. It's more.
5,
not,
6, 8 kilos.
No, not more than 3 kilos. It's very
Really?
light.
Is it light?
Yeah.
It doesn't. Oh yeah.
Hey, it's
Very
very
light.
Gosh, it looks substantial. I thought it'd be like 8 kilos or something. Wow. Okay. And what about these equipments that you've got
yeah.
here?
This is
So
the
this
most
is like
important.
basic equipment a server needs to have. Okay, ladies?
Surfing 101.
Exactly.
Okay, this is the fins. The fins. This function is like steering.
Okay.
Where do you
Like your rudder on a boat. Right?
Yeah.
Where do you put that?
The bottom. The,
Oh. Oh.
There's a hose there.
And then you just put the fin in.
Yeah, just to
Okay.
put the fins. This
Wow.
this one three set there.
Oh, you have to put 3.
Yeah, 3.
Okay.
So if you miss one, you have to buy 3.
Oh, okay.
You can't
Uh-huh,
just get one to
Yeah.
replace.
You just
Okay.
So
cannot-
don't try not to lose it.
And what about this big
This
fin?
is also a fin, but it's twin fin. This one is old school.
Okay.
For that one, the fish.
This one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so it goes on the two ends.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought.
So how how to surf with these two fins is also very different. With three fins, you easily can make sharp maneuver.
Okay.
But this one is more like flow.
I
see.
see. So if I were a shark, I would be a flowy shark like this. Bum, bum,
It
bum,
suits
bum,
you.
bum, 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 bum.
So Marissa touched upon the physical benefits
Yeah.
of surfing, but we also mentioned that this can, for you especially, be more of a mental benefit as well.
Yes.
How has surfing changed your life mentally?
Yeah, for nowadays, we know that people can distract easily. So actually, human minds is very, we think very fast and jumping from one another to another, right? It's very fast.
Yes.
And it's quite hard for us to be in our present moment.
Yes.
So
To
in
focus
surfing-
even.
Yeah, to focus. So with surfing, you are forced to do that.
Okay.
You have no other option. Yeah, you have to do that. And because imagine when you see a tiger in front of you, ready to attack you, you cannot think about, okay, I have a jemuran back in my home. I haven't had a breakfast.
Right,
What do I
right.
eat? No, you cannot say that.
I think it's called like fight or flight mode, right?
Yes.
And I totally agree. Like when I was out there, even though I wasn't skilled, I was still a beginner. But I remember thinking, this is taking everything I have physically, mentally, and I wasn't thinking about anything else at all for the entire time I was out there.
What a nice mindful activity surfing is.
Yeah, and there's a research that surfing can, how do you scale it? To recover mental illness.
Really?
Wow, because of the focus. Because
of
it
the focus.
forces us
Yeah,
to restore our ability to just focus and be in the present moment. Otherwise, you know, the wave might kick you,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
the shark might catch you.
Well,
Oh, wow.
okay, I don't know about that.
I mean, we want
I wasn't, believe it or not, I wasn't even thinking about sharks, and I thought I would be. I was like, I'm out in the ocean, but I was so focused at the task at hand and I was trying to fall,
Yes.
that I never even thought of it.
I
Never even crossed my mind.
see.
Till later.
This is so cool.
because the movement in surfing, you count it by second.
Right.
Like, okay, now it's bottom turn, and then the next second, what I am going to do, like floating or anything.
Yeah.
It's very like,
Yeah.
Yes.
and there's no two wave with the same form. So
Yes.
every wave is very different.
So you have to handle it differently.
Yeah,
You have to keep thinking.
Yeah.
or nothing. Yeah,
Not at all, actually. The opposite.
Or no
yeah,
think.
yeah, or
Right.
nothing at all.
So if you
Just
don't think,
follow your feelings.
wow.
Yeah, you can't afford to think. Like, that's what my friend taught me as well when we were out there. He's like, when you see one that you think that's the one, just go for it. Don't like think twice, because the second you think about it, you're gonna miss it, and it's gonna go right by.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that window is very small.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Must be a really nice
Yeah.
feeling, Gemalla.
And then seconds, yeah.
Yeah, in seconds.
Like when you decide to paddle and catch this wave, you cannot in doubt, like maybe yes, maybe
Correct.
no, maybe yes, maybe no. It will crush you.
Yeah, and I think that's where I think to me it's like it forces you to make decisions, and that will help you in life as well. You know, you can
Yeah.
apply that to your day-to-day life. When you think about it, you want something, don't doubt yourself, and then go with what you think.
Yeah, exactly.
Go and do
absolutely.
your best
Yes.
to do it.
Actually, that what you just shared reminds me of this concept in psychology that was coined by a very senior psychologist, Mahai Csikszentmihalyi. He coined this term to be in flow. Like when you're in flow, you don't think about anything else. Suddenly, you can't even think about the time. You lose yourself in the activity that you're doing. I guess what you're
Like ikigai.
not sure about
in
ikigai
Japan.
yet. Yeah, maybe it's like ikigai. I don't know. I don't know much about ikigai, but you're in flow. Wow, that's wonderful. You see, surfing is great for your mental health, for your physical health, and also it enhances your spirituality because, you know, when you're in the zone, when you're there, you're part of the nature. It's perfect.
Yeah. Last part, very important, by the way.
Yes.
Get some sun, get out there, enjoy
Yes.
what nature has to offer. Thank you so much for joining us here today and sharing with us.
Thank you all.
It's,
Thank you,
I hope I
Carrissa.
get able to convince Marissa to get out there in the water.
Yeah, actually.
Let's go surf together.
Okay. Let's go to that place that is 4 hours away from here. What is it called?
Chimaja.
Chimaja. There you go.
There
Okay.
you go. You got it on camera. Proof is in the pudding. All right, we got to take a short break here, guys. But when we return, we're going to recap some of our earlier stories when we return. Stay with us. The C Morning Show will be right back.
Thank you so much.